Let's go. Good evening, all. Welcome to a new season. Yes, that's right. Tonight is the start of round one of the World GT3 Championship, following on from the hugely successful Euro 1 and US 1. So tonight, round one, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, or Canada, as most of you may probably know it as. Old F1 track from memory. So should be a good one. Lots of new faces tonight. Got Phil and Ruben with us as usual. Good evening, boys.
Evening, Ruben.
Good evening, Mark.
So yeah, loads of new names to learn. We've got 30 odd drivers tonight, I think. New season dawns upon us, comes around very quickly. So
yeah, it sure does.
Looking forward to it.
But what practice is just finished, so we're just waiting for everyone to start going out on track to do 25 minutes of open qualifying. Hopefully, there should be enough time for everybody to get a decent lap in. Proved to be last season, so hopefully it will be again.
You see the melee of them going.
Yeah, that's looking pretty packed. I would maybe hang on for a second and wait for these guys to go before even attempting that.
I'm just having a quick look through the current names. So obviously we've got some names we know well. the likes of Adam Southgate and the Arnold Chanier, Dominic Forster. We've got some golden oldies, Kieran Smart. What else we got?
14 months in a row from our very own Ruben there.
Yeah, boys.
Yeah, boys.
Have it. Who's got the record at the moment? I can't remember now.
Yeah, that would be Kieran. That's got to be Kieran.
Yeah, I think he's close to, what is it, 20 months or something?
Yeah, he was notching up
something
nearly
like
2 years.
That must be as long as we've been streaming, I think, isn't it? So yeah, so just running through this, we've got a lot of new names. We've got some new teams or new members for teams. Car-wise, I think who's the most who's got the most manufactured cars here? Phil, is it? We chopped out the Ford, didn't we, on this one?
We did chop out the Ford. It's looking like a BMW Audi fest at the moment. There's a few McLarens, and 1 or 2 Ferraris.
Oh, I like the McLarens. I like the way they backfire.
Cheers for the follow there, Mick.
So, mentioning the newer drivers and teams, etc., maybe it's nice to mention them all. We've got Altitude Esports. Mark Fletcher is a driver. Then we've got 4 drivers for CXR Project Black. That's Morgan Thompson, Peter Smith, Dries Kader, and Adam Southgate. Then we've got 4 drivers for the Luxsim 24 Esports. Aaron Rose, Elliot Harper, Lewis Rose, and Billy Fletcher. Then we've got the R70 team, 3 drivers, Nacho Gaspar, Jonathan Vinagre, and Juame Torres. We've got 1 driver for RWC Racing, which is Arnaud Channonier. We've got 1 driver for Smart Racing, which is Kieran Smart. 3 drivers for Solar Sim Racing, Jack Fielder, Clifford, Miles Owens, and Matthew Hodges. Then we've got Team Club Europe, 4 drivers, Chris Simmons, Stephen Feuders, Stephen Bird, and Martin Hobson. Then we've got 7 Falcon Sim Racing drivers, Callum Brandt, Mohamed Yanko, Luke McKeon, Dominic Forster, Jason Hutchin, Stephen Norman, and Joel Evans. Then we've got 2 drivers for Wraith Energy Racing, Daniel Merchant and David Meekin, a privateer, Stuart Wyness, 1 driver for Origami Racing, Randy Wilson, and Euromaster Esports, Paul Mounet.
A lot to go through, but yeah, good. Well done.
There you go, warming up for your grid in it for the pole qualifying session result, aren't you? Sorry.
Easy names.
Easy names. Cheap. Yeah, you're right, actually. Don't look too grim, do they? Could be worse. Could have a lots of you and me in it, couldn't we? There you go. So, having a look already, some of the hot laps going in as we speak. Late 134s, early 135. So, Mark Fletcher currently sitting on pole. Juame Torres, he's named from the past, has rejoined us for the World GT3 Championship. Done very well previously when he's entered. Mohamed Janko just gone down into 4th as Billy Fletcher's just snuck into 3rd. So got a little mix there, but a few names.
Your favourite band there? Little mix.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect. I haven't spied on any of the practice sessions, so I don't know who's setting the fast laps or who's sandbagging, but I'm sure we'll find out. Who have we got in race control tonight? We've got any? Is it the usual suspects? Is it
the usual lads?
So is that Ed, Neil, and Aaron off the top of my head?
Yep, it sure is. Well, they're eagerly anticipating no accidents to happen, so they get an easy night.
There you go. Well, this is a fast circuit, so this is the corner that can cause some problems. Oof. Get that wrong, it's going to sting, isn't it?
Yeah, then you'll put it in the well-known Wall of Champions. But it's with these GT3 cars, you can attack those curves quite well. But like you say, if you get it wrong, then you could end your whole race.
And Torres just actually.
One repair.
Yeah, sorry, I was about to say Torres just slipped into 2nd. Luke McKeown then just immediately snatched it off him. 0.011 behind the sitter.
Yeah, and I reckon we're going to see some times dropping. In the practice session, they were doing some 133s as well. And what we also saw from the practice session is that the top 20 drivers were separated by 1.3 seconds. So that's 20 drivers in 1.3 seconds. That's amazing.
Yeah,
It's going to be a close race this.
Let's have a look at some of these R70 team guys. I think. Yeah, he's just gone over the line there and just notched into third with a 134.438. Joe Gasper, one of the new drivers.
So, just running through the format, I assume it's still the same, isn't it?
Still the same 45-minute race.
Yeah.
Should be one pit stop. I believe it was 50% fuel.
Was it quali? Is it 15 minutes or 25? Or was it
25 for qualifying, yep.
So mandatory pit, yeah. Okay, happy days. So as you were, as they say. We've got a driver a day still. We doing that this season?
We do still have driver of the day.
Oh, everyone looks forward to that.
Well, you do, just so you can type in the wrong number.
Yeah, it's normal. Although in fairness, they get the last 2 weeks right. So.
Well, that's not bad. Out of
feedback.
8 weeks.
Out of 8 races.
There you go.
That's
Especially
a good ratio.
hearing the first 6. Oh, I've done it again.
Yeah, that's it. Got to keep you lot on your
Evening,
toes.
Matthew. So looking at the track conditions, it's currently air temperature or ambient temperature 19 degrees and the track temp is 21. So it's quite a cool session.
So, any inkling on who's going to be out there?
Oh,
That is very difficult to call.
yeah, but to be honest, from what we've seen in the practice sessions on Monday, Tuesday, as well as the practice session before qualifying, was McKeon, who's now currently in second, who was quick as well. The same goes for Mark Fletcher. But I also don't want to rule out Peter Smith. Currently looking at where he's. Is Peter still in the pit?
Looking down the list, I can't see him in the list. Where is he? He's not put a lap time in yet.
No, he hasn't put a lap time in yet. The same goes for Dries, although Dries is on track at the moment. So Peter Smith maybe checking out what the other drivers on track are doing, gauging his chances.
Not sure if this is a lap or not from Peter Smith. Not quite going any faster, I don't believe. Sorry. See what Dries is. Now 15 minutes of qualifying to go. Still plenty of time actually for the top 5, top 10, probably the top 20 actually to change around.
Definitely. Looking at the nationalities, we got quite some nationalities in this season again.
Yeah, it's a nice little mixture. Nice to see some Spanish drivers back again.
Just noticed none of your countrymen here, are they?
Nope.
Ru-
No Dutchmen.
Are they all
quite
watching
rare.
Holland
But that's just easier for you, mate.
Yeah, I quite like
that's
doing
true.
the old spitting on the mic like that.
Oh, there we've got only the details in the chat again with their nice messages. I always like those. Our previous season in CXR bankrupted team. Looking to come back with new livery soon. Firing multiple engineering teams is expensive and for sale to AMGs. What? They're still for sale.
I
Damn.
don't believe we have anybody in the Mercedes this time.
No.
No, there wasn't a lot of love for them last season, was there? People were struggling in them or making out they were struggling in them.
Slightly used, flip multiple times. Hello, is this the Falcon League? Well, Wins, they are with 7 cars. So, yeah, that's the most out of all the teams. Some other teams have 4 cars or 3. But, yeah, they've got the most drivers in this season. So Juan Torres went in provisional pole with a 134.2, only 200ths of a second in front of Mark Fletcher. But look at that top 5. It's all within a 10th.
Yeah, and we did see a couple of the guys getting into the 133s, didn't we, in practice? So
Yes,
we know
we
it's
did.
possible. It just depends, I guess, on how much fuel they're taking out, because I believe it takes about 2 to 3 laps before your tyres are even slightly up to temperature. So, especially at this temperature, track temp of what, 21. So,
but it looks like the top 20 is a little bit closer than it was in the practice session, which is good to see. It's now exactly a second from P1 to P20. So it's extremely close. Billy Fletcher currently in the pit, sitting in P5. Juan Torres, Mark Fletcher, and Adams on their outlap, and there we go. We've got Peter Smith now with a 134.2, putting him in provisional pole.
yeah, so it's all swapping around at the moment. It's good. It's good. I'm looking forward to this.
I bet there'll be a one lap, the old last-minute lap wonder, won't there? Like we saw a few weeks last season.
Oh, yeah, we've seen that quite a lot of time, didn't we?
Every time I click to Joel Evans, he's pulling off to the side of the circuit.
Like he knows, I know I don't want to be on stream. Well, he can't be anonymous in this stream. Not gonna happen. Cheers for the follow, RK333. Welcome to the CXR stream. He's cheering on for Paul Monet. And he's currently in 18th, only 7 tenths behind the pole. And there we see Drieske there, now also getting a bit of left on it.
Elliot Harper.
So, looking at the timing board for everybody watching, you see the purple color in front of everyone's name. The green one is quite obvious. That means that that's the person we're showing, and if you see it flashing red, that means that there's an off track from that person. While pushing the times, it's the top 24 now within a second.
That's nice to see, isn't it?
And the top 6 within the 10th. Holy moly. 5 thousandths of a second between Mark Fletcher and Morgan Thompson, and 7 thousandths of a second between Luke McKee and Morgan Thompson, while Gaspar goes on provisional pole with a 134.1. So times are dropping slowly. Still no 33s. But we still got about 10 minutes of qualifying left.
We do. So just looking through, this is obviously a cracking track. Just having a little look at the list for the rest of the season. We're at Phil's favourite, Bathurst, next week.
Oh,
then
yes.
Suzuka. We got Silverstone GP, boo. Mid-Ohio. Ohio. Jeez, I can't even say it. I've never been there.
I was
So
going to say that was some amazing pronunciation.
there you go.
While in the meantime, we saw a nice little drift there by Juan Torres.
Yeah, it was a pretty sweet drift.
And then one of my favourites, Monza. Then you've got Interlagos, and to round it off, and hopefully it'll go to the wire, it's at Spa. So I think we could be in for a cracking season.
I totally agree with you there, Mark. It's going to be a hell of a season.
There you go. Phil's just got them up. So
Cheers for the follow, by the way. Schweijm 0706. Probably mispronounced that name completely.
You mean Sue JM 0706?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're not giving out your telephone number again, are you?
Yeah, we all agree with you, Wines. It's going to be some good racing tonight. We're definitely looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good kickoff for this season.
There's a good name, Nacho Gasper, currently sitting on pole.
Yeah, 134.181.
Yeah,
Is the
eking ever closer to the 133s then, that you mentioned earlier.
But Ekin, I just spotted that Dave Meekin was actually on a better lap.
Let's have a little look. The quickest lap in the practice session was actually a 133.7. The second best lap in the practice session was a 133.9. So two people did the 133, and those were Peter Smith and Luke McKeon.
So Pete's currently second and Luke is sixth at the moment.
Yeah.
Even faster lap actually, just coming around final corner.
Could we do one completely on-board lap, full fan immersion, with us being quiet, just enjoying the on-board view for a lap?
Good. Just pick.
Let's go on board with the McLaren, Juan Torres.
He's on the final corner, isn't he? Yep. Pulls off to the side.
And he's what a timing. It's, oh man, it's not from the same team, isn't it?
They're on board with Peter Smith. Bit damage there on the front.
So there we had a full lap From on board Peter Smith, but he's not going to put that lap in.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with it, so 5 minutes. So I guess it was either then or not to go back to the pits and get some fresh rubber, go out again, see what you can do on that last flying lap.
And you're totally right, he's on his out lap now.
Well, he's got 4 minutes plus the lap if he crosses the line in time.
Well, the thing is, he has to keep his eyes on the rearview mirror for all the people who are currently on their lap. Because he is on cold tires, so don't want to be in their way. But he's...
Almost a queue coming out of the pits here. A wobble on there from Stuart.
Thank you for the follow, Ivan. And Wheels of Thunder, Paul. You always prefer fresh rubber. Yeah. And don't we all?
Yeah, don't we all?
Yes, Winus, we only have 2 Ferraris this season. Like Phil said earlier, it's mostly BMW and Audi. A couple McLarens, and then the 2 Ferraris. No Mercedes and no Ford this season. Someone stolen my white mecha. Is that so? Out, going a little bit too hot into the chicane, almost losing the back end.
Light bit of a wobble on. All Moon from Euromaster Esports.
Although it won't be wide next week, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I believe he'll have a paint by next week. It was just a bit of a rush to get it done for this.
For this race.
First race,
yep.
yeah. Ooh, it's one of the Luxem cars going very wide there at the first corner. Or second corner, I guess.
Maybe making room for Adam Southgate. So just over a minute left, and then we're up for race 1 of this season.
Yeah, it's surprising how fast the 25 minutes flies by, really.
Phil, could you put up the interval where we can see the actual times for, compared to the pole time? There we go. Looking at that, it's so close.
Yeah, 2.2 seconds splitting the whole field. Less than a second, a second splitting from the first 3 drivers.
And we've got 2 Spanish drivers currently locking out the front row. Jaime Torres and Nacho Gaspa.
Oh, Fletcher was on a faster lap. No, he wasn't.
On board with Peter Smith. And qualifying is done.
Now, Peter Smith actually hasn't bettered his time, but Torres actually did in the first sector. Obviously just pulled off to the side of the track, so not going to be any faster.
Let's see if Peter can actually nail that last chicane to try and get that faster lap time in. Wow, yeah. He tried to, but that obviously didn't help the car. So that's Peter Smith done for qualifying. On board with Mark Fletcher and Morgan Thompson.
Morgan Thompson just getting a little bit of a kick on the inside curb there. I think he's probably just lost him his time. I'm not sure he's going to go any faster. No.
He doesn't.
It's Mark Fletcher pulling over to the side of the road. From Southgate just about to come across the line. Callum Brandt actually just moved into P11, 134.5. Adam Southgate moves up a position from P10 to P9, 134.478. Aaron Rose still out on track. Just crossed the line there. Didn't improve his time though, so
So I think that's qualifying done.
Yeah, we'll just wait for the old gridding to come up.
No worries, Matt. Still nice for you to join our Twitch channel for the start of season, the World GT3 Championship.
So after that, are you still confident about putting a winner down? Because I'm not.
No,
I mean,
I am.
Oh,
we'll leave it to you, Mark. We'll leave it
Yeah.
to you. I'm not gonna
Oh,
jinx
come
any more
on.
drivers
Why not?
because I always jinx the drivers.
I
Yeah,
reckon it might well come down to pit strategy. We've seen it before, especially if it's really tight.
That's true. Right, so there we have the results of the first qualifying session. It's Nacho Gaspar on pole position, followed by Jaime Torres in P2, Peter Smith in P3, Mark Fletcher in P4, Morgan Thompson P5, Luke McKee in P6, Billy Fletcher P7, Stephen Bird P8, Adam Southgate in P9, Joel Evans in P10, Callum Brandt P11, and Mohamed Yanko in P12. P13 is Chris Simmons, Lewis Rose on P14, Stephen Feuders P15, Elliot Harper P16, Aaron Rose P17, Martin Hobson P18, Randy Wilson P19, Paul Mounet P20, Jason Hutchin in P21, Kieran Smart P22, Dries Kader is P23, Matthew Hodges in P24, P25 is Arnaud Chalonier, P26 Dominic Forster, P27 Jack Clifford, P28 Jonathan Vinagre, P29 Stuart Wyness, P30 Miles Owens, P31 David Meegan, and last but not least, P32 Daniel Merchant.
there we go. Well done. It's a lot of names to get through, isn't it? It's
a
good.
lot of names, yeah, man.
Yeah.
But
Let's
you have the time. Everybody's gridding up. It's a nice big train of cars. It's quite a short drive up to the start of the race as well this time.
Get all the cars in shot.
So McLaren on front row, followed by the Audi. And then I think we've got a
Audi
BMW and a Ferrari, isn't it?
Audi's on the
Or is the Audi on
the pole city, yeah. And then you've got Torres just on the inside there in a McLaren, but R70 team lockout.
There we go. Safety car pulls away.
A little bit of wiggling, getting those tyres all warmed up.
Wiggling it just a little bit.
Right, I will leave you guys in the
Showing me
capable
age.
hands of Mark and Ruben. That's you after the race.
No,
Cheers, Phil.
Let's go. Come on in, Ruben. Give us a name. Or give us give us a prediction.
All I can say is, I was going to say we're going, but he's waiting, and I think now we've gone. There we go. Away, everybody through the chicane as well. Gospa still in front of Torres, and we see some position change between Luke McKean and Morgan Thompson, as well as Janko and Southgate, Simmons and Hobson, Mooney, Pewters. So by putting the car in front of the other.
Looks like everyone's through cleanly as well, which is nice to see. Excuse me. So top 4 as you were.
A lot going on. Everybody's still close to each other. Such a hard track.
There's not many overtaking places, is there, on this track?
No,
it's quite a tight track.
Torres on the inside of his teammate.
No team orders there, is there?
No. And he took a little bit wider line, so I think it's Gospa just in front, but he's on the outside for the hairpin.
Which is also going to let through Peter Smith, I think, if he doesn't get a good exit. No, he's held it.
No, we've got enough track from Janko. He's dropping down some positions.
Oh, the back end just went slightly.
Yeah,
maybe
just on the inside there, but
a little bit too early, I guess, maybe.
So Torres again going for the overtake on his teammate. Gospa puts himself in P1. Everybody coming through the chicane quite well. Billy Fletcher now up in 4th position. I think Billy started in P7, so yeah, good first lap. Ooh, Morgan Thompson dropping down a lot. I think he just got a slowdown or something. He's now dropped down to P15. He's even dropping back further, P18, 19 even. So there you go. That's what a slowdown can do. Peter Smith now being chased down by Billy Fletcher. But the top 8 still never so close. Nice onboard view there from Billy Fletcher. And I was saying Billy Fletcher, I meant Mark Fletcher was on the back of Peter Smith, I'm sorry.
Not related either, Billy and Mark. 4th and 5th. Oh, sorry. 4th is Mark, Billy is 5th.
Cheers for the follow, Go Bloody. I think that's Darren Goebel, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I was just about to say,
Isn't
that Mr. G?
That is Mr. G. Cheers for the follow. Or the subscription, I must say.
Oh, nostalgia's kicking in now.
Nice little battle there between Team Club Europe and Falcon Sim Racing. Simmons and Callum Brand. Callum Brand just with a nice overtake there on the outside at turn 3. Nice move, well done. And now Paul Monet as well on the back of Simmons in the white McLaren, closely followed by Mohamed Janko.
Little battle there. Luke's going up and down there. I think it's in the cluster.
I think there was a little R-Racing mishap, but he's still going strong in 6th position. Daniel Merchant having a good first couple of laps as well. Started in 32s, now in 28th, close behind David Meekin. Coming up to the hairpin, trying to maximize the exit speed, all for their back straight leading up to the final chicane. And it's Torres now pulling a gap mark of 1.1 seconds to Gospa.
Yep, he's not hanging about since he overtaken him. He's shot off like a stab rat, isn't he?
And I think Peter Smith was trying to keep his car on the outside there, but backed out at the right moment, I think. On board with, I think it's Lewis Rose, if I'm correct, behind Adam Southgate.
Nice little train at the front, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Yeah, the gaps aren't that big.
No.
Joel Evans is only 1.1 seconds behind Stephen Bird. Joel Evans started in P10, he's currently in P8.
Doesn't take a lot, and you can lose quite a few places on this.
Well, you just want to keep your car out of the wall here on this track, don't you? I mean, you don't want to have that damage, at least no significant damage. We do have one fast repair again in this season, but yeah, it's better to stay out of that wall. Very good drive there out of that hairpin from Mark Fletcher. But we do know that the BMW has quite a good top end. So he's still behind Peter Smith. Morgan Thompson, one back 3 positions again. So now on P16, followed by Feuders. There's a position change between Luke McKeon and Stephen Bird. There you go, Stephen Bird had a very good exit out of that chicane. And took the position from Luke, puts himself in P6. And we see Arnaud Chalonier, if I'm correct, he's already in the pit lane. Maybe Arnaud was one of those few unlucky drivers to cut a wall somewhere. Now in front of Mohamed Janko, 14. We've got a question from Darren Goebel, by the way, Mark, asking who the outsider is to watch this season. Well, if I would answer that, it's quite difficult to call at the start of the season. We've got quite a few new drivers this season we haven't had before, so I mean, you'll never know. Although I think one of those is Gaspar, Nacho Gaspar, currently in P2, who seems to be relatively quick. But yeah, I mean,
outsider-wise, based on only the ones we know, I would say it would be one of the Fletcher boys or Luke McKeon, I suppose. They've shown previously good pace, albeit not consistent pace, but or consistent results, should I say, not pace.
Yeah.
So could be one of them. But we have got quite a few new drivers, though, like Ruben said. So it might take a few weeks to pan out.
I think there was Arnaud Chalonier, by the way. While I think Billy Fletcher tapped the wall there a little bit, but Arnaud Chalonier coming out of the pit and had to wait for the whole and pretty much the whole entire field to come through. Mark Fletcher still putting the pressure on Peter Smith. Not quite able to make that overtake, but probably trying to force Peter into making a mistake.
Just replying to Mr. G there, the Fletchers are too fast to be outsiders. Well, you say that, but there are people who are faster. So, in theory, they would be outsiders. Consistency is the key. We see it last season as well. It was just one bad result cost Peter Smith the championship. He finished once outside the top 10.
Yeah, that
ended up costing him the title, didn't it?
Yeah, round 6 or round 7, wasn't it?
Yeah, really bad
point. Yeah.
He had a really bad race, but he won 4 or 5 off the top of the head, didn't he, of the 8? So, but he still didn't win it.
And
so it just goes to show how tight it is.
We've got the sweaty cam back again this season. Kieran Sport.
Hey.
We even saw a smile on his face, currently in P18. Not quite sure if he's actually watching the stream and maybe even hearing it, but looking good as always. Cheers for the follow, LOL gift reward.
Yeah, he's chuckling away. Someone's in his ear.
Well, he's following Rose, who's the back of Rose's car doesn't seem to be that that well, so he had a tap somewhere from someone. It's probably not Kieran Smart because the front of his car looks pretty
Ooh,
fine. Oh no, that's Kieran Smart into the
curse.
wall.
Ow, 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 ow.
Oh dear, and there he got collected by, I think that was Dries. Yeah, that was quite unfortunate. If you spin more to the left of the track, it's quite a clean track for the others to pass, but he was quite far to the right. I think he tried to do his best to get out of the way, but yeah, you got more people come through. Here we see a replay. So I think there was Adam Southgate or Morgan Thompson trying to get out of the way, but yeah, no, his car doesn't look too good.
There you go. First commentator's curse of the night. Well done, Ruben.
No, but what? No. 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 Kieran's gonna watch this back. Nope, I didn't curse you.
It was all Ruben's fault.
While live race control just mentioned that Mohammed Yanko was black flagged. Reckon it's gonna be for a collision. So he does have a penalty. And he's probably serving it at the moment. So quite a lot happened here. And we're only 11 minutes on the way mark.
It is. I was just actually trying to work out pit stops in my head, actually. I'm guessing
Well, share it.
Well, I don't know. I think it's sort of 23, 24. But this track, I think, is quite a thirsty track. 'Cause it's quite a quick track, isn't it? Generally.
Yeah.
It's a flowy track, isn't it? And they tend to be a bit more thirsty. But I'm guessing it's going to be sort of early 20s, sort of 23-ish, lap 23, 24. But we'll see. We're just watching Mark Fletcher and Peter Smith battling it out.
Yeah, to be honest, it's Peter Smith now in P2 with Mark Fletcher in P3 and Gaspar, who fell back to P4. Wow, that's confidence going that close behind another through that chicane.
Just here,
we're looking at a replay. Yep. Oh, yeah, it was
just overshot it, didn't he?
Yeah, and Peter blinking for a little bit, but Gaspar trying to keep that inside, but like you said, he just overshot the hairpin, losing out on P2. And that gives a gap of 3 seconds to Juan Torres now, so all he needs to do is just keep his cool and keep on going.
Plenty of time. We've seen it before. A lot can happen. Meanwhile, whilst all this is going on, Juan Torres is pulling away nicely. He's 3 seconds ahead now. Currently also sitting on the fastest lap at 1:34.88.
While we look at a replay, one of the McLarens, while braking, going onto the grass on the outside and just losing in and spitting some flames.
That was Randy Wilson, I think it was.
While we see another, nearly some contact there, and two Falcon drivers right behind him that's fighting for position as well. I think that's Luke McKeon and Joel Evans. While in front of them it's Stephen Bird and Billy Fletcher fighting it out. But Billy Fletcher showing some damage on the front right of the car. Stephen Bird had a little look on the inside. Didn't make the move. And again, Stephen Bird now on the inside for turn 1 in front of Billy Fletcher. And he takes P5, so well done by Stephen Bird.
So currently on board with Stephen Bird then. I'm just trying to spot which livery I like. There's not one yet that I've seen that's made me go, oh, that's a nice one.
Is that saying it nicely?
Yeah.
While the two VSR boys are having a great little battle on track. Still.
Just having a quick look at the winners and losers. So far, Jack Clifford and Miles Owen has made 10 places up from their qualifying position. Daniel Merchant's gone up 11 places. So
Well done, Daniel.
yeah, he's gone up to 21st. So he was obviously at the back of the grid. The biggest losers, inverted commas, Morgan, who had that issue earlier on, he's dropped 13 places, and Randy Bilson with the spin's dropped 10.
While we see Billy Fletcher coming into the pit, and I was already thinking while you were looking at that, as Billy Fletcher seemed to lose quite a lot of time overall, probably because of that damage, because he was being catched up by Luke and Joel. So he's going to go for a early pit stop. Not quite sure if that's going to bring him till the end of the race, so we'll have to keep an eye out on Billy.
I think it probably. Don't know, it seems a little early for me. 10 laps in, half
Then
hour
again,
left. Possible. It's possible, isn't it? Billy's pretty good with the fuel.
It does shows how close the field still is after 60 minutes of racing, seeing him dropping down from P5 to P26 at the moment. Make that P25. Board with Mohamed Janko from VSR, who unfortunately had that drive-through penalty for causing a collision. And he's now on the back of his own teammate Dominic Forster. So it's the Falcon Sim Racing boys who seem to be battling with their own teammates mostly. And Mark Fletcher in the meantime, in front in P3, still close behind Peter Smith. Jaime Torres still managing that gap of 3.2 seconds. Oh, and I think there was Gaspar who seemed really close to that wall. Peter Smith had a good exit out of that chicane, put a little bit of a bigger gap to Mark Fletcher. These boys need to focus every single second during this race. While one more with Martin Hobson showing some rear wing damage. Going on the inside of David Meekin. No, he doesn't.
So we've got a McLaren at the front, followed by a BMW, two Audis, another BMW, another two Audis, and another two BMWs. So a bit of a German fest, with the exception of the McLaren from Woking. I assume it's comes all from there.
Oh, and Adam Southgate is dropping some positions.
Yep.
He's now
dropped
currently
two.
P11. So I'm not quite sure. I didn't see some red flashing up as him having a off track, so he may got a slowdown somewhere. So he had to need to give up quite a few positions, putting Callum Brand in P8, Simmons P9, Joel Evans P10, and Elliot Harper P11. The front of Adam's car doesn't look that well as well, losing another position here to Feuders. So I'm guessing that damage is causing him quite a lot. Oh, we've got contact in front.
Oh. Whilst we're seeing that, Lewis Rose has gone into the pit.
I think there was Joel Evans and Elliot Harper, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Ooh.
It seemed like Joel Evans was just too late on the brakes, then caught the grass, and that's really unfortunate. Elliot Harper caught in that incident as well.
So they're all diving into the pit, looking at it, trying to use that fast repair.
Oh, but Adam's car didn't look well, even crabbing at the end while coming in the box. And remember, Adam Southgate is the champion of last season.
He is by a solitary point. Had a little wobble in the last race, but still took it home.
And unfortunately, Jason Hudson had a little off track. Currently in P23. Tom Stanstring, by the way, Falcon livery is best in my totally non-biased opinion. So there you have it, Mark.
There you go. Well, you know me, I like a bit of leery liveries. I haven't seen any yet. All a bit boring, a bit too professional. Even Phil hasn't updated R1, which is still obviously the best manufacturer's one, but best team one. But yeah, I do appreciate a nice livery.
And while about 2 laps ago, Peter Smith pulled a little bit of a gap, it's Mark Fletcher right on the back of him again, within 0.3 of a second. Well, still not able to make the move from Peter, putting himself P2, so. And as I said before, Torres is just maintaining his pace, controlling it, having a good race so far. 3.3 seconds ahead. And we can call that, because of that incident we just saw happening with Joel Evans, he's gonna get a drive-through penalty for causing an avoidable collision. Which, yeah, looking back at it, unfortunately I think that's the only right decision.
Coming on board with Luke McKeon, going through the Wall of Champions, trying to catch Stephen Bird in 5th at the moment. Ooh,
and there's also another
Daniel
penalty
Merchant
given Mark, by the way.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, to Stuart Wyness for another causing an avoidable collision. So we've got 3 people who've been penalized so far during this race. While we see a move from Billy Fletcher on Dominic Forster. The front end of Billy Fletcher's car seems to be a little bit better than it was before, but still seems like there's a little bit of damage. So I'm not quite sure if he picked that up while he came out of the pit.
We're currently sitting in 13th, who's our highest pitter at the moment. So everyone above him has yet to pit.
Oh, and I think we just saw a little tap there from Rose on the back of Vinagre. Going into turn 1. So we'll have to wait and see if he will slow down and give back the position. If not, it may be looked into by race control.
So just coming up to 15 laps completed. Jaime Torres just crossing the line. Stephen Bird is now dived into the pit, who's currently sitting in 5th.
While Joel Evans and Kieran Smart having a great battle. There was a little bit of contact between turn 1 and turn 2. But some nice door-to-door action. Kieran Smart stays in front of Joel Evans. P26, P27. Oh, Joel Evans for a move there into turn 5. And he makes the move stick and done. So nicely done there. Though it was some argy-bargy from turn 2 to turn 2. Turn 1 to turn 2.
So, Stephen Bird, Billy Fletcher, very close. Ooh. Coming out of the pit there, just looking on my side screen there.
Quickly on board with the leader of the race, Jaime Torres, for the R70 team.
And that's what 3.5 seconds looks like.
Exactly,
somewhere down
managing
there.
the traffic as well. So far doing good. Car looks
Yeah.
clean.
Well, Peter Smith has got to get past the back markers in between them at the moment. So you want to do that as quick as you can.
Oh, it seemed like Peter went very close to the tire
Yeah.
barrier there.
You see a few of them, you see that tail end come out a little bit, and you just think, oh, it's not really where you want to do a nasty. It's a long way around again to get into the pit from there.
So a quick look at the track conditions. It's still the same, a 19 ambient temperature and 21 track temp. So still a quite cool session, but that doesn't mean the track's still quite demanding on the tires. All on board with Miles Owens right behind Daniel Merchant. Daniel Merchant and P13 both coming into the pit here. So let's see if Miles Owens can maybe grab that position from Daniel by having a better pit stop. Oh,
Shot his box.
I think he overshot. I think he overshot his box.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He reversed. Haven't done that for a while. That might actually cost him position.
I think both are still in the pit, but it looks like Daniel's still in front of Miles. So no position changes. Oh, Juan Torres, leader of the race, coming into the pit. Same goes for Peter Smith, Mark Fletcher, and Nacho Gaspa. I reckon Luke McKean will follow the boys through. There you go. Luke also into the pit lane.
Yep, top 5 are now in, top 6 are now in.
I think it's quite interesting to have a look on what they are going to do, because we know Peter Smith can be quite quick on pit stops.
Luke is as well, from memory.
Yeah,
there we go. Nacho's out already. No, he's not. Tell a lie. Sorry, I thought he was out. He wasn't. He's just pitbox in front.
In front. Yeah, that
I've got all excited
well.
there. I thought, blimey, that's a quick one. There we go. It's the first one out. It's Juan Torres still.
Yeah.
Peter Smith.
Peter's coming out as well, and the gap was 3.8 seconds when they entered the pit, and
yeah, he's got a second back roughly.
Yeah, and he definitely gained a second, because the gap to Mark Fletcher is now 1.9 seconds as well. So either he can focus on try and catch Juan Torres, and otherwise he doesn't have the pressure from Mark Fletcher behind, who does have the pressure from Nacho Gaspa.
So looking at it, Billy Fletcher's done all right pitting early. Hopefully he's got enough juice to get him to the end, but
yeah,
take the seat and film.
Yeah, I think Billy pitted because of the damage he had, and he's probably losing too much. So yeah, it's a good question if he was. I reckon he started the race with a full tank of fuel.
So he's got not enough in with the top up, is he?
Well, I mean, he pitted with 16 minutes of racing, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I reckon he started with a full tank of fuel. Wow, we see a nice move there from Joel Evans on the inside of Miles Owens. Well done by Joel, nice move. On board with Callum Brand, followed by Simmons. VSR's Simsport against Team Club Europe. So for this season again, it's the top 20 who will get championship points.
Cool. Good exit out of that.
This season at the end of the season, we've got some nice prizes to give away for the top 3, as well as the cleanest driver with the least incidents during the whole season. And that driver has to be outside of the top 10. So there's a little prize for that as well. Try to make it interesting for everybody racing in this league. Wow, and we still got 50 minutes to go, and it seems like this race has already been on for an hour with all the action we've seen on track. Well, we see a red in front of Dominic Furster's name, so he had an off-track somewhere. A little bit of moving there from Callum Brandt, hoping to put Simmons off. Ooh, Simmons has a good drive out of that chicane, going for the inside into turn 1. BMW versus the Audi R8. Oh, Callum really late on the brakes, but wow, nicely held there. Stays in front of Simmons. Yeah, there was some confidence on the brakes there from Callum. Well done. Some nice racing between the two. Peter Smith, though, still able to keep the gap about roughly 2.7 seconds. Gain about 2/10 on the time to Mark Fletcher.
Just having a look at the top guys or top 10. At the moment, there's a battle for third between Mark Fletcher and Nacho Gasper. Gasper's roughly 4 tenths behind. And then Chris Simmons is right behind Callum Brandt, 8th and 9th. And just as I say that, the gap increases. So yeah, the others all seem to be spreading a bit out after the pit stop. So we'll see how it pans out in the last third of the race. Still sitting fastest lap, Jaime Torres, that 134.88. Mark Fletcher, slightly slower, 134.92, who's just lost the place as well.
Oh, and it's looking so close to battle. But it's Nacho Gasper now in P3 in front of Mark Fletcher. And the battle for P8 still going strong between Brandt and Simmons. Mark Fletcher weaving behind Gasper, being all in his mirrors. Coming up to the hairpin. I think what Mark Fletcher want to try and do is maximize the exit compared to Gasper. Try to go for that overtake at the chicane.
We saw last season Mark's very good at sitting in behind and waiting for his opportunities. He had that mammoth 80% session with Peter Smith, didn't he, trying to get past the Ford last season?
Yeah, there was some great racing between Peter and Mark Fletcher indeed.
So he's very good at keeping the wick up.
Oh, and he's, he definitely has a good drive.
He's going to get it. Blimey, was he parking the boot?
Well, Gasper trying to defend the inside and doing good. But it's Mark who keeps his car on the outside and the inside for turn 2.
And he's through. Which way's the next corner? I'm just trying to think. Right again,
and then a left.
Yeah. So,
but it's a tight one. So yeah, Gasper does the best thing and is just tucking in behind Mark Fletcher and trying to return the favor, probably by overtaking him on another part of the track, which it wouldn't surprise me if that would be either the final chicane or turn 1. But the nice battle for the last podium position. There's also a lovely battle going on still between Kieran Smart and Wilson as well for P24. It's outside of the points, but still. Oh, Gasper looking for the inside in the hairpin. Not quite.
Just seen him. He's got the inside. Is he going to hold it? Yes, he is.
Well done. Well done. Very nice move there from Gaspar, putting himself in P3 again. And I reckon we're going to see this battle continue till the end of the race. So P3 isn't decided yet. And while we see a position change for P16, P17 between Clifford and Elliot Harper. Clifford puts himself in P16. But it looks like they're going to be side to side as well, coming onto the final chicane. Oh, some late braking there from Elliot Harper. Is he going to make it? Oh, he just keeps him out of the wall. But I do think that Clifford had a better run out of it and puts himself in front of Elliot Harper again.
There you go, Phil. Soundbite time, that is.
That was some good stuff. That was a good stuff. Great from him to keep it out of the wall, though, because that will definitely ruin your race. In the meantime, we've got two drivers out of this race, which are Arnaud Channonier and Martin Hobson. As we know, Arnaud had something going on early on in the race.
Oh, it's nearly time to get excited. It's nearly vote time.
Put the right number in, yeah.
Oh, I will. I'm sorted this season.
Or do we need to explain it to you?
No, just explain to our lovely followers. And there we go. So, fairly simple. You type the number next to the name on the scrolling screen on the bottom right-hand corner. Don't do what I used to do and type positional number or car number or any other number. Fastest lap number. I don't know. Oh, blimey, someone straightened it. Elliot Harper.
And
First vote.
remember that you can only vote once for a certain driver, and you can also wait until the end of the race. It will be up till the end of the race. So if you've not decided yet on who to vote for, you can always do it near the end of the race.
So, just to give some people an idea, depending on what your criteria is, Daniel Merchant got up 10 places, Jack Clifford's gone up 11, Paul Munya gone up 9.
Oh, Kieran Smart having a good drive out of the chicane, coming up to turn 1. Pretty much side by side by Miles Owens, but he tucks in behind. Wasn't close enough to make that move done. So stays in P25. I think those two have been battling for quite some time now as well.
Look at them all punching the numbers in. I like it.
Thank you for the follow, Soymanka. Welcome to the CXR TV stream. We're currently enjoying round 1 of the CXR World GT3 Championship at Circuit de Villeneuve. And like Mark said, well known as the Canadian Grand Prix for the F1 series. Still Elliot Harper, Jack Clifford and Mohamed Yanko. Now close behind those two. So it's a nice little three-way battle for P16. Oh! Wow, two drivers went straight on. I'm not quite sure if there was any contact. Both have slowed down to carry though. No, I think both just outbraked themselves coming onto that last chicane. So
is that an automatic slowdown? Is that an automatic slowdown via iRacing, or is it?
Yeah, that's via iRacing. Yeah, it is.
So just having a look further down the field, Morgan Thompson's 3 temps currently behind Paul Munet in 12th, which we're just looking on board with, not on board, but looking at the moment. Mohamed Yanko is battling Jack Clifford a little bit further down in 17th and 18th. Randy Wilson A little bit further back, 22nd, 23rd, Daniel Merchant. There's where the
Byron
little battles
Racing,
are.
it goes on alphabetical order on the surname.
So, no, it's on first name, not surname.
First name, sorry. Yeah.
So I'm guessing Nacho will be somewhere in the middle of the list.
26. There you go. Well, it shows a different last name. But yeah, 26.
He's managed to carve out a 4-second lead since he overtook Mark Fletcher a couple of laps ago.
Well, could only mean that Mark Fletcher probably made a mistake somewhere, because 2 laps ago it was still around 8, 9 tenths of a second. Miles Owen's coming into the pit. Billy Fletcher still going strong as well in 7th position with only 4 minutes to go, so...
Oh, Kieran Smart's coming. Does he run out of fuel? Unless he's had a little incident. Ah.
And there we
Who's
see
that?
contact between Morgan Thompson and Paul Mounet. Two McLaren drivers. I think Morgan put it on the inside of Paul, but unfortunately they made contact. Back on board with Elliot Harper and Jack Clifford. So although they had the slowdown, the battle is back on again.
Have you voted yet, Ruben? I was just looking up and down the list. No,
Nope.
you're going to wait near the end, are you?
Yeah, well, I got somebody in mind.
Well, obviously not me, because I'm not racing.
You in my mind? What?
You don't have to declare your undying love to the public for me. It's fine. It's a bit of a tough one, this one today, actually, this week. It's been some very good racing.
Dominic Forster giving the position to Joel Evans. I'm not quite sure if Dominic had a slowdown there, but those two were battling it out for roughly at least 20-30 minutes for what we've seen. Got Jack Clifford and Mohamed Yanko, both in the Audi R8. I think that's Solar Sim Racing against VSR, Falcon Sim Racing. Don't think it's gonna bring him a lot, but Peter Smith brought the gap down to 2.2 seconds. Oh, there we have it. Billy Fletcher coming into the pit, boys. Billy Fletcher had to pit for a splash and dash.
Damn.
Yeah, and that's
literally one lap.
Yeah, it's gonna drop him down to P10, maybe even further back.
No, further back, I think. I think he'd do well to come out sort of 12th, 13th, I think.
He's now 11th. Yeah, it's gonna be close to Paul Monet, currently in P12. No,
Yeah,
he's
all right.
just in front of Morgan Thompson, but still lost a couple of position and championship points because of it. Nice battle between Mark Fletcher and Luke McKeon. Mark suddenly lost some pace, so maybe he underfueled the car and have to fuel safe to get to the end of the race without having to splash and dash. Because like you said, Mark, he lost quite some time to Nacho Gaspa, and he's now even close to losing the position to Luke, but we've got the end of the race. We've got Juan May Torres coming across the line, winning round 1 in front of Peter Smith and Nacho Gaspa for the final podium position.
Wow, what a race, boys! That was good. I'll leave the I'm going to leave the driver of the day open for a few more. Still. Well, that was action packed.
That was a hell of a race. Hell of a race. Very nice to watch, and I think the people who are watching can agree that it was a very good round one of this season.
Yeah, we've still got Jack Clifford, Joel Evans, and Mohamed Yanko also battling out just to the line as well. Also just behind them.
Hopefully it bodes well as a good marker for the season.
Dominic Verster grabbing the final point. Oh.
Someone running out of fuel? No.
Looks
Sorry,
like
I
Matthew
was excited. I thought
Hodges.
somebody was running out of fuel.
Matthew Hodges did lose a position to Wilson.
Finished and crossed the line. Yeah, I believe it has.
Yeah, and it's showing milestones in the pits. So I think that's everybody done.
Yeah, so here we have your race winner. Right, let me close the driver of the day. Find out who the winner is. Finish on the old poll. Mohamed Yanko won with 3 votes, 17.6%. Congratulations, Mohamed on his first race as well. I think he did get a drive-through penalty, but I think it was just one of those situations where he's just tapped into the back of someone. I didn't actually see it myself, so you presume.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody, for getting your votes in. Always nice to have a bit of interaction. Get those screen. Right, okay, so let's go on to the results.
Oh, that's interesting.
That was the qualifying results. There we go.
So, race results. So he's back with aplomb then. Jaime Torres takes the win upon his return ahead of Peter Smith in second. Nacho Gaspar, debutant, finishing third. Mark Fletcher in fourth. Luke McKeown in fifth. Stephen Bird sixth. Callum Brandt in 7th, Chris Simmons in 8th, Lewis Rose 9th, Billy Fletcher 10th after that last minute splash and dash, Morgan Thompson 11th, Paul Mooney 12th, Aaron Rose 13th, Stephen Futers 14th, Adam Southgate 15th, Elliot Harper 16th, Jack Clifford 17th, 18 was Joel Evans, 19 Mohamed Yanko, driver of the day, Dominic Forster 20th, Randy Wilson 21st, 22nd was Matthew Hodges, 23rd Daniel Merchant, 24th Jason Hodgson, 25th Jonathan Vinigra, Stuart Widnes in 26th, Kieran Smart 27th, Dries Kadir in 28th, 29th was David Meakin, 30th Miles Owen, Martin Hobson 31st and Arnold Chaninier 32nd. So there we have it.
Yeah, there we have it. And I think later.
So no bonus points for driver of the day, no bonus points for fastest laps, no bonus points because we like you. It is purely based on the results.
There we go. And I think we can now do a championship standings. So I'm hoping that this is going to work from next week as well. So obviously it's the first race of the season. Everyone's in the same position. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get this working for the rest of the season. I've just got to remember to actually do a save. So yeah, there we have it. Hopefully we can keep a track of the actual table live in our racing. Yeah, so where are we next week?
We're at your favourite, Phil. How do you not know where we are next week?
I was just creating a bit of a build-up.
It was build.
It's taken you several seasons, but you finally got it on the grid.
I know. I've been begging to have it on the grid, but we are at Mount Panorama Bathurst next week. Oh, I always want to drive.
You do know they've got V8.
One of you guys can do all the controls and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll bash buttons. Any monkey can bash a button.
I think it would be best if we both would drive.
No, you're not driving next to me. You're not driving.
I'll tell you what, you two drive and I'll just sit here watching.
So anyway, yeah, we'll be back same time next week, 8:15, for 25 minutes of pure qualifying pleasure around Bathurst, followed by 45 minutes of pure racing pleasure around Bathurst in the GT3s.
There's only going to be one
good.
person pleasuring themselves on that.
Cheers to the guys in race control, Neil, Aaron, and Ed. Still in job as usual. Cheers, Ruben and Mark, for your commentary skills as normal, and cheers to everybody for watching.
And cheers to you, Phil.
Cheers. Yeah, we'll catch you next week, same time, 8:15. Have a good evening, and everyone stay safe. Bye bye.
Good evening. Night night.